Execution and set pieces are important parts of writing a good story, and today I'll be breaking them down. I'll start with execution. Execution is all the little details in a story beat, like visuals, dialogue, and cinematography. I'm going to draw a short scene, but with 3 different levels of execution. I'll show them first and then analyze them. Hopefully you can notice the difference. As I said before, every little detail matters. In the first comic, the interaction is only 2 panels. The dialogue is minimal and straight to the point. The art is low in detail and shot from a flat angle. In the second comic, there are extra panels to connect the scene together and paint a clearer and more fluid picture. The detail in the art has increased and the camera angles are more interesting. The dialogue is also more detailed. Finally, the third comic is the best. There's more interesting dialogue and more panels to control the pacing of the scene. The camera angles are more dynamic, using 1-point perspective twice. There are close-ups of the faces to really display emotion. There are focus lines and speed lines in the background to create energy. The movements have motion blur. The poses are more dynamic and loose. The art is more detailed. The sound effects are bigger and more animated. The important panels take up a lot of space. These are all the same scene, but the effort in the execution gradually increases. As you can see, better execution in comics often requires more space, panels, and pages. If a story has boring execution, the entire story will be boring, regardless of how well written the pillars are. Again, these are all the same scene, but if the first comic was put in a story, it'd feel like an unimportant scene, despite the events of the writing. But if the third comic was put in a story, it'd feel like it was intended to be an iconic moment. Now, set pieces. I call them this, but a video from Nerdwriter about BVS called them moments. A writer named Sam Osteen said, quote, "Movie first, scene second, moment third," end quote. Based on the way Nerdwriter talks about moments, they could be defined as an iconic and memorable scene, which is basically the same as how I would have defined a set piece. I didn't even know there was an official term for this concept, which is why I believe we need story theory, a complete class for writing. I'm going to continue calling them set pieces because I think moments can get confusing. Set pieces are important because they are what happens when a spectacular scene meets extraordinary execution. These are the iconic moments you think back to when you remember a show or a film. These are the moments you rewatch on YouTube. Set pieces lift good writing to new heights. They wow the viewers and make them desire more moments like that. Set pieces are simply the peak of entertainment. Look back to my 3 comics. The first and second feel like ordinary scenes, but the third feels like a moment, a set piece. These are important because, at the end of the day, a story's first objective should always be to entertain its audience. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.